50% taxes on our wages. Some are world champions in avoiding taxes, but that's another bullshit, you know. Now we have excellent healthcare, social security, excellent and especially affordable education. Like everything in life, right? It comes with the cost. We have left the harbour underneath the glass bridge here, only to see the former fish market arrive arriving from the bus, which is a multifunctional building. You can actually rent it for parties, weddings, events, divorces, whatever that makes you happy. It's all yours. We have the Visitor Information Center right here as well. And the gravestones below are the remnants of the church, the St. Peter's Church, one of the more than 50 churches and other religious buildings that we used to have. And the Catholic Church is not that popular anymore in this, in this country, let's say. So we sell more and more churches. We have 17 churches for sale. So if you want to start your own religion here in the city of Ghent, you need a church. I can fix you a church. I can fix you 2 churches by this evening. Just give me a call. We'll make it happen. No worries about that. Well, on the other side, we have the Great Butcher's Hall. Well-covered meat market, let's say, and from the abattoir or slaughterhouse from the 15th century. It is being restored currently, and it will take another 7 years. So we still have some time to come back and see what we have done.
More than 4.
Oh, yeah. This is the Moon Bridge of the former bus. And if I was to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, the most famous Belgian in the world, who could it be? Okay, let's have. He lives in Brussels. Okay, he's not this tall. He's completely naked, and he pees 24/7. Ever heard of it? Ever been to Brussels? Yeah. Monica Pees, the one and only. Yes. Most famous Belgian in the world. Not many people know. We have a Monica Pees right here as well. Right there on the left-hand side, that white building. 3 small statues, and in the middle, the little boy who's not peeing, you know, he's educated, he went to school. There's 2 girlfriends on the left and on the right side of that. They're, well, not twerking, you know, they're just relaxing, right? And, yeah, there he is. Now, I did some research, because apparently in Brussels, very famous, environment, a small city, the oldest, okay, this one again, alright. But apparently, we have 19 of them. Yeah. What is this? What does it mean? What does it mean? Now, apparently, little naked boy was actually the symbol of the guild of the tanners of the old leather factories, who used ammoniac out of urine to soften animal skins so they could make bags, clothing, whatever out of it. And in this neighborhood, right here on the left-hand side, we had many of those old leather factories, hence the small naked boy. This is the oldest neighborhood in Ghent, the medieval city center. It's called Patershol. And this used to be a very poor neighborhood. Lots of poverty, violence, a bit of a ghetto situation until the early 80s. But nowadays, well, there's an irony of history, of course. It has become the most exclusive or most expensive part of town. Nevertheless, always encourage visitors. Please get in this neighborhood. Close your eyes a little bit and try to get lost as deliberately as possible. Because it is truly the best way, and it's good at the same time, to experience that very well preserved medieval nature of the truly beautiful. Very good. Go and check it out. Otherwise, you haven't been in Ghent. Now, the Folk Museum, where you can discover how people lived here in the past, with the cheapest bar, cheapest pub of the city, right here to be found. It's from the 14th century. Now, this used to be retirement home.
Let's go there.
Those old women were 80 or 90 years old. They were like 30, 32 years old. And they could spend the last time of their lives right in here if they were widowed, you know, if they didn't have any money or anything else. On one condition, that was that they would pray from the early morning to the late night, every single day. That was the deal. And that's how things went. Now, if you grow hungry, you're somewhere in the city of Ghent, ladies and gentlemen, as far as I'm concerned. It's horrible. Intelligent people, you can make your own choices, right? There is one street I need to mention, you know, the oldest street in Ghent. Here on the left-hand side, you see the backside of Oud-Burg, because that is the name of the street. And here as well, you can find a few dozens of the more than 300 restaurants There's lots of places throughout the city. In the front, here's one. You find some traditional Belgian food, some of the exotic dishes, then something from everyone really. Not exclusively here, I mean, you can go anywhere, but nice and cozy. Here's one, all to play. That is the name of the street. Now these are all restaurants here. Used to be old breweries, waterside old bakeries, and later on industrial bakeries. Beer and bread, and beer, you remember. This apartment building, right in front of us here, the Hill. Now this was actually elected by the people of Ghent ourselves to be the most ugly building in the city. Yeah. A beautiful example of the ugly building in the city. But of course the view, yeah, the view.
The most ugly.
Now we have actually 5 ugly buildings, yes. And those ugly buildings, you know, what's up, and Holder, of course, are actually the main reason that the historic center of the city of Ghent in its whole is not on the UNESCO list of heritage, because you can see these ugly buildings right from outside of the historic center, which UNESCO doesn't like. Oh, we don't care that much. Ghent has always been very famous for its textile industry as well. You know, Flemish cloth, wall carpet, a very big thing, very fashionable. There you go. But at one point, after the Industrial Revolution, we constructed many dozens of textile factories all within the city centre. Like this one here on the left-hand side, the former textile factory, which the original chimney is still standing strong right up there. Now this also has been an industrial bakery, even a sugar factory, but most of the time it was a textile factory, one of the 170. So, and all the rubbish, all the chemicals, everything, you know, went into the rivers were black. Many diseases flourished all throughout the city centre. It was a very unhealthy place to be along the riverside. That is why all these beautiful small houses, nowadays it's almost, you know, it's very expensive and paid buildings. But 35 years ago, nobody wanted to live along the waterside. Only the poor people would live along the waterside. How things can change, right? Now this is the oldest chimney in Ghent, 250 years old. Still works. There is a bakery down below that. Make these local cookies. It's very tragic because we don't like the cookies. We don't like our own cookies. We need to do something with them. So put them in little bags. We sell them to the tourists. Just the way of life. The Raging Margaret, or the Mad Woman, the Angry Woman, was the best translation I have, or the Cannon, the Delegriet, right here on the left-hand side. 5 meters long, 12 tons heavy, and painted in its original color. Now this is a typical medieval color. It's called ox blood red. It has nothing to do with oxes. It has nothing to do with blood either, because actually there is milk. They put iron in it, so they made it color. You can see many house fronts and all sorts of objects painted in this type of color. Here is already Christmas. What about that? Very happy. Absolutely beautiful. But these houses here on the left-hand side are actually the backside of a shopping street called Lange. It's not the most exclusive street that we have. But the interesting thing about this street is the fact that already during the Middle Ages, this was a shopping street. People come here, people of Ghent come here already for many centuries for the daily groceries, as we are still doing nowadays. Nothing has changed. It is a typical example, a beautiful illustration of how history, how the past is always present in our daily lives. The city of Ghent is one of the few cities that has never been completely destroyed, which is very strange, you know, because we have had so many wars, all sorts of problems, let's say, for the past 15, 16 centuries, but nevertheless, we did it. We were lucky, you know, we need to have some luck in life, or once in time, wow. So we know, you know, the value of our heritage, and we try to take care of it. We are very proud to show it, you know, to the visitors that come and see our beautiful city. And of course it's all about the water, isn't it? All throughout the city centre. We used to have even more canals than we have now. But the water is it's everywhere. Huh? The water is actually somewhere to be found in the origins of the word or the name Ghent as well. It goes back to an old Celtic word, Ganga, which means a place where two rivers come together, co-join. And those two rivers are the river Liss and the river Scheldt, okay? Now we are still navigating on river